let's talk gear for a second. Hey Siri. Shit. You're not Siri. Do you guys do this? I do this all the time. I don't know who I'm talking to anymore. I don't know if I'm talking to Siri or Alexa. It's Wednesday, and I'm feeling good. I think it's gonna be a little less busy, kind of a crazy day. I don't think I have any planned meetings. It feels a little chillier. There's a wind. It feels a little chillier than I want. I've got this long sleeve shirt on. I'm wearing a t-shirt on top, and then I'm gonna wear, this is what I usually wear. I've got this like Under Armour, I don't know, it's called heat gear. I think it's supposed to, I think, keep me, it's one of these, I know I'm like, I ask for stuff that like probably doesn't even exist in nature, but obviously like we all want, right? I want something that like keeps me warm and yet stays cool when I get too hot, like something that's breathable and yet keeps me warm. I don't know. Do you have any good advice about running gear? Because like I looked this up and I thought it was going to be like a solution or something, and I don't know. I go out there and I'm freezing cold. The wind and cool air just get right through this thing. I'm going to Best Buy. I'm going to Best Buy to solve two problems. No answering machine, and I want a lens that I can hold closer to my face without my face being the only thing you see in the frame of the camera. All right, here we are. It's a funny story. This place doesn't have the lens either. I got the Panasonic, so I've got a phone. I don't have the lens. Now I'm going to Bucktown to get the lens. All right. Round two. We've got it. Took 3 attempts, but I got it. All right, I got it. This is actually my first Canon lens. Nice and light. So all this work to get this new lens, and something is wrong with it. Something is not working right. Error 60, I don't know what this means, Canon. If you're not in the middle, if you're out here, it probably makes you look kind of wide. If you're in the middle though, it makes you look kind of skinny. So, and then watch my hands, like they get all long when you get over there. This is fun. But maybe let's not keep it at this. This is at 10 millimeters. Let's just talk about we've talked a little bit about my vlogging setup. Like I'm a big fan of just basically using whatever's convenient, whether it's my iPhone or my GoPro. I've got a GoPro Session 5. The GoPro Session is really nice. I put it in my pocket. It's on me all the time. It's really one button click, but I really enjoy using this Canon 80D DSLR. It takes really nice pictures, and when I say pictures, I mean video. I've got a microphone in the shoe, or I think it's called. I prefer to film on this thing versus my iPhone or the GoPro, but this thing is a pain in the ass. But let's talk about lenses. So the camera is nice, and I'm actually trying to do more and more work on this camera. But for lenses, this is the first lens I bought, and this is neat. So this is a Sigma 30 millimeter, and it's an f1.4 lens, I believe. So I think 1.4 lets in a ton of light. So let me put this on the camera right now. This is a Sigma 30 millimeter 1.4 lens, f1.4. So 1.4, and the higher the number goes, the less light it lets in. So the more light is even like I think you can get 1.2 lenses. I don't know if there's anything less I think there's less than 1.2, I'm not sure. As that number grows, the less and less light that comes in. And so 1.4 is really good. And when you get a lot of light in, it means like the aperture is like humongous. When you get a humongous aperture, you get this really nice background blur. So you can see, like, I'm really big in the frame of this camera, right? My head is huge, but like this stuff is like really nicely blurred out. It's just a really like cinematic kind of look. A lot of TV, a lot of film has like a lot of the background blurred. I mean, I feel like it kind of matches your vision. When you're looking at something, stuff feels kind of blurred in the background. So I feel like it's a very natural way of looking at things. It's pretty. But look how huge my head is. It's nice, but I just feel like especially when you're vlogging and you're holding the camera up and you're taking this thing out, I don't think you want to look at me this close all the time. If I used to have it in the car like this, and like, look at how big I am. You can't even see my whole head. It's just like my nose. It's gigantic in this thing. So I wanted to switch. I didn't want to just continue to use this lens. This was the only lens I was using to kind of talk in front of the camera. I mean, if you put this thing far enough away, it works, but you might not have a room for this thing. You got to put this thing like way across the room to have like yourself fully in the frame of this camera. So I switched lenses and I went with Sigma, another Sigma lens. The Sigma lenses I think kind of tend to be a little bit cheaper than some of the Canon lenses, but they're still really good quality. So then I got myself a Sigma, this is a zoom lens. So the 30mm is just non-zoom. It's called a prime lens. That's all it does, is 30mm. And then I got myself a zoom lens, a 17 to 50mm Sigma lens that has a 2.8 f-stop, so aperture. So this thing is a little bit smaller, so it lets in a little bit less light than the 1.4. I think maybe half as much light, but even at half as much light, it's still really nice. So watch this. So this is what I've been vlogging on most of the time. This is the Sigma 17 to 50mm lens, and I've got it on 17 right now, so it's a little, there it goes. Now it's on 17, so it's the widest it can go, right? I can zoom it in now to like 50, and it's just crazy, right? I mean, it's so zoomed in. I can go to about 30, and it'll look a little bit like my previous lens that I just had on here, right? Again, this is a really great lens. I mean, it autofocuses well. One of the cons I have with this lens is that so again, if I get close enough, I mean, so again, a nice kind of background blur, so it can take some really nice shots. If I'm, I've done some nice close-up stuff of my child and the stuff she's playing with, and it looks really nice. Some of the problems with this lens is heavy. So when I'm trying to vlog with it, I mean, 17mm is a little bit wide enough. Like I've got my arm a little bit outstretched, and my arm is hurting. This thing is like really heavy. And so sometimes I'll have to hold it with like 2 hands or hold it upward. And so still, like if my arm is really sore from holding this thing and it's kind of up close, again, my face is like really close to this thing. And also the autofocus, it's noisy. Watch this. You probably heard, right? There's like a clicking. And it's fairly quiet as far as autofocus lens mechanics go, but it's still kind of loud and clicky, and it drives me kind of nuts when I'm watching my own vlog episodes and I'm hearing that click, click, click as it's autofocusing on me. I could turn the autofocus off, but then I have to keep adjusting the focus while I'm doing this or watching myself in the monitor to make sure everything's fine. And that just kind of sucks. If I were to just get one lens, if I just had a budget for the one lens, I'd probably still get this lens because this thing is so versatile. 17 to 50 millimeters, I can do, nice wide stuff like this, or I could take this out, I'm in the car, I can zoom in on buildings, and there's a lot of different kind of neat photography you can get out of this. However, it was annoying me enough that I wanted to experiment. So this is the lens that I got today that I'm already really liking for a few different reasons. I'll put it back on the camera. Well, before I even put it back on the camera, this thing is so light. I mean, compared to this Sigma, the 30mm, and compared to the one I have on here, this thing is like a feather. And so like holding the camera up with this thing on is really nice. All right, so I don't know. I'm gonna have to, I still don't really know how wide I kind of want this lens when I'm talking into it. So I'm still experimenting with this, so forgive me if this thing looks crazy. What's it at now? A little less than 16, like 15 or something. It's so much lighter. I can pick this thing up and this is gonna be kind of nice to kind of walk around with so maybe I'll use this more outside and not my GoPro as much. And then like here, I'm really close to myself. There's like very little background blur, right? Because this thing has like a 4.5 to 5.6 f-stop, but it doesn't let in as much light as either of these things. It's like 1.4, 2.8. It's a lot less light. And still, I think that the image looks good. It's not as probably nice under low light, and it's not gonna create that nice background stuff that I actually kind of enjoy. But so far, I'm kind of liking it. This 10 to 18, if you're gonna be doing a lot of like just talking to the camera kind of close up, that's probably the way to go. And this thing's like 280 bucks. This is the cheapest of a lot of lenses. This is a really good, cheap lens. That helps. That's some of the stuff that I've been going through, trying to learn about these lenses and kind of the effect they create. And so there's some of the research that I've uncovered. She has a cousin who created some sort of very abstract knock-knock jokes. And this one's taking up to like a new level of abstract. avant-garde knock-knock joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Chicken window sale.
Chicken window sale, who?
Chicken window sale. That dog.
Thank you everybody for watching the vlog. That's it for tonight. I'm gonna have some mint chocolate chip ice cream and edit yesterday's vlog and still get it out tonight. I hope you had an awesome day and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.